Good morning and welcome back. It's Reverend Angela Faye McCarty, SistaPoochie, and coming back to you again as promised. Today we were supposed to go further into the second stop of the journey home um, which is called When Jesus Wants to Talk to You. But today instead I received some comments wanting me to go a little bit deeper of who SistaPoochie is and why I'm here doing all of this. I do have an archive video called Who is SistaPoochie that kind of goes over that, but I'm going to get deeper as requested. I said I would always keep it real, so who is SistaPoochie? I am the Reverend Angela Faye McCarty, but of course I have not always been the Reverend Angela Faye McCarty. Someone who worked in the accounting field since I was like 18 years old, so for about 20 years. I was also a real estate agent, and it's something that the field is something that I enjoyed and prospered in, and it was something that came naturally to me. I was always good at math. My mom actually sent me to, I was actually, wait, let me correct that. I was horrible at math, and my mom sent me to math tutoring when I was like in fifth grade or something like that, or maybe it was fourth grade, and she sent me to Sullivan tutoring. So anyway, or some one of those type of tutoring places, and I became like a whiz in math. So math is something that I enjoy doing, and I like numbers and patterns and things like that. So it was a field that fit. Um, it's easy to talk about everything else but yourself. So, when no one's interviewing me, but I guess God. So, to keep it rolling. I guess I'm always going to keep this raw and edit it. We always take one take, and whatever happens, just happens, and we put it out there. But anyway, the Journey Home, a collection of poems by SistaPoochie, is actually poems that I started writing in like 2005, and I was dabbling in a lot of poetry, doing poetry for mostly people that I worked with, whether it was like baby showers or weddings and things like that. I was like, the poet that people, would come to, and I actually didn't think I was good at it. So, it just, uh, it was such a far cry from what I was doing. I was just like, oh okay, I'm going to do this poetry thing. But I've always been someone who was very spiritual. When I was growing up, my mom actually did not read the Dr. Seuss to me. She read the Bible to me as I was growing up. So those were my bedtime stories. And she comes from very deeply spiritual parents. I come from a very deeply religious and spiritual family. So this is something that has been with me all my life. And like again, I've been reading the Bible, um, all the time, and discussing the Bible with my mom in depth, um, and for many years, and just growing, it's still in the field. But I was also somebody who dealt with chronic pain, and I continue to deal with chronic pain every day. And I've gotten to the point that the pain has kept me, like you said, my background is my house, will always be my house, because I'm not someone who can get out right very much. Your doctors fix you. Have had like 6 surgeries, so it's like a rubber band. Pretty soon it doesn't snap back the way it needs to, and you end up dealing with other things. But I don't focus on my condition and my situation. I focus on other things, and I try to keep my mind focused on other things. And that's where the journey home, with the collection of poems and the video Bible blogging, because it helps me reach out to other people, and gives me something to do. It's a 10-minute video. My friends help to upload it, and I just have to show up for 10 minutes. We don't edit it. We just put it out there the way it happens. Um, So that's where the poetry came from. They encouraged me, my family, my friends encouraged me to actually print a book, and I started organizing the poems and then finding Bible verses that went with the poetry, and then it was like, okay, I had to write an introduction, and all the while, I was dealing with surgeries and dealing with my health, and when the book was done and sent to the publishers, and I had a lot of people doing the editing and proofreading, they get the final cut, and it was finally sent to be formatted. And that took a process to have it finished. That was like last year. It what I realized is that it kind of brought me through a backwards process, and I your life is predestined, and that's what the Bible teaches you. I have to back up a little bit. In 2003, I was in Northeastern College going for my CPA degree, and I took a career assessment course, and you have to do essays and take a battery of tests, and they send it out to these institutions, and they come back and they tell you what field of study best suits you. And the top three things on the report, because we had to review them at the end of the class and what all the papers was, minister, spiritual advisor, clergy of some kind, uh, corporate trainer, and teacher. So I actively looked at the list and said, minister, okay, all right, I'm going to jump down, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm going to be a teacher or a corporate trainer. The top three wasn't something that I was personally interested in doing. I was enjoying doing what I was doing. It was working for me. But what the book taught me as I was going through editing and recanting my life and reliving these poems, what it brought out of me is that, God has a plan for all of us, and his will be done on earth. I hope to bring those who don't have faith into the faith and into trusting Jesus Christ, because I dare you to try him. Like I said, I come from a very very spiritual family, and he has not failed me yet, and I haven't. He's just not failed me yet, and that's one of the reasons I can smile when I bring the Word of God, because it's something that brings me joy, because it's like, wow, you have not failed me yet, and it's a book that I have found to be true. And I hope I can bring just something else to you. Like I said, we're going to mix it up a little bit. It's not going to be straight Bible study. I will have extraordinary guests on. These are people who fill up the time, because I'm not going to be broadcasting every day. I do have to get my rest, and that's, and you got 30 minutes, three 10 minutes broadcasts a week is what I'm going to be giving you. And but hopefully you can get the journey home and follow along. It will, all the proceeds from the book goes back into the ministry to further the gospel of Christ. We're working on creating the ministry and becoming a actual church, so that we can bring this word to people who actually need it, bring it into the presence, bring it into places where we can actually do some outreach. So that's what we hope to have, hope on the horizon. And again, that's who SistaPoochie is. I went a little bit deeper for you guys, so it's not all that surface stuff. But again, I also got ordained after the book was completed, so that was a process. When you get the book, it doesn't say I'm a reverend in the book, but I am ordained, and I am a member of the clergy, and I have my little clergy card. So that's about it. So it was in me all along, and it was predestined. He knew me in my mother's womb. He knows you in your mother's womb, and your life is predestined. And I hope to, again, bring positive message, positive people, and the Word of God to you. on a daily basis. As long as he wakes me up in the morning, I'm still doing really good. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, and take care of each other.